We'll now keep enriching the Pong game by incorporating some of the modifications that were mentioned in the previous video. We'll first change the initial direction of the ball. How can we do this? Within the code of the ball, we'll change the value in the block point towards. For instance, we can try 180. What happens in this case? It moves downwards. And what if we write -45? It starts moving diagonally to the left. Now, let's look at the case of direction 90. Can we play? No, because the ball only moves horizontally. The same happens if we try direction -90. We found a possible error in the program, and we realized that we need to be very careful when choosing values for the ball direction. We should always test our program thoroughly to check if it behaves as desired. Testing helps us identify errors in our program, which we can then correct. This process is called debugging. Testing is a crucial stage of software development, and it is important to identify representative cases to test. For instance, when testing our birthday card program in the last unit, where we had the butterfly respond differently to users younger or older than 8, we identified two test cases: the case where the user is 6 and the case where the user is 14, and we tested both. In this course, we've encouraged you to implement your programs incrementally. Similarly, we suggest that you test them incrementally too. This way, it can be easier to spot the bugs in the code. Now, moving back to specifying the direction of the ball, there's another option too. We can set it to have a randomly chosen direction. We can do this by using the block pickRandom and choosing values between -30 and 30. Now we'll modify our game to change the color of the ball. It would be fun if it changed color while moving. We can do this by introducing a change color effect by 25 block right before the move block. Let's try it out. One of the ideas that we had for extending this game was to draw the route of the ball throughout the game. Let's implement this. To achieve this, we'll use a pen down block at the beginning of the game. And when the game ends, we'll lift it and clear the route in order to start afresh in the next game. Let's test it. Excellent! We'll save our project to keep it for later. How about modifying the stage backdrop, the ball and the paddle to transform our game into Pizza Pong? The revised game would have a pizza chef throwing the pizza dough to shape it. But beware, the dough shouldn't drop on the floor. We'll open the original Pong project to modify it. So we'll first choose the kitchen backdrop from the library and we'll edit it to include the red line at the bottom. which will help us detect whether the dough has dropped on the floor. We'll also delete the original backdrop. Now we'll introduce a pizza dough instead of the ball, which we'll draw ourselves. We'll create 1, 2 costumes for the dough. And we'll delete the ball costume. We'll also rename our sprite Dough. We decided to go for 2 costumes in order to make the dough movement more realistic. So we'll add that whenever the dough moves, it switches to the next costume. If you want to resize the pizza costume, you can click on the shrink or the grow icon that you can find close to the scratch menu. If you want to have a pizza chef instead of the paddle, you can choose a character that you like and modify its image. In our case, we'll draw one. If necessary, relocate the character so that it moves along the bottom edge. We'll rename this sprite Chef. If you have a closer look at the dough code, you'll see that the block for touching paddle has been automatically updated to touching chef, which is very handy. Okay, our pizza Pong game is ready. Now let's try it out. This is really cool. By making small modifications to our original Pong game, we've transformed it into Pizza Pong, which is a different game but with the same idea.